I'm going to state before this court is the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Introduce yourself.
My Lord, I'm number 86763, Corporal number 86763, Corporal Horace Arwa. Horace Arwa, a police officer currently attached at South B Police Station. South B Police Station. Your Lord, I'm here to testify before this court as the arresting officer. But on the 4th day of January,
You are an arresting officer.
I'm the arresting officer. But on the 4th day of January 2024, I was the duty NCO for the day. On the 4th of January 1st, 2024, I was the duty NCO for the day for a period of 24 hours. And that at around 0030 saa sita na nusu usiku, 0030 hours, I received a call from my duty officer, who by then was by the name Inspector Ndwati. And she informed me that there was a scene to be visited. So I immediately rushed to the report office where she was. And upon arrival, I found two... So I rushed to the report office where she was. And when I got there, I found two unknown ladies who were the reportees. Two unknown ladies, but whom currently I can physically identify. One was in a blue dress, and another was in a yellow jumper. So they had reported that there was a scene of some unknown dead body in a particular house. A particular house within Fakino Apartments in South B. So upon receipt of the report from Madam Ndwati, I, together with Madam Ndwati and one Corporal Kamau, we rushed to the scene on a distress call. So we were led by the reportees, actually. And when we got to Fakino Apartment, which is in Sanasana area within South B, you were again directed to the we were directed to the 4th floor, and where we went there through an elevator. So at the 4th floor, again, we were further directed to house number Y32, Y32, which in this case was an Airbnb room. The door was slightly opened. But before we could fully enter into the house, we watched from outside and were able to see a naked body, a naked female body, which was lying next to a sofa set. It was just a bit closer to the door. And from our view, the entire view from where we were,
Talk about my view.
from my view, sorry. From my view where I was, all over there, and the body was in a pool of blood. It's lying in a pool of blood, and the entire floor of the sitting room actually was covered with blood stains. So we moved closer and have a view of the body, where we discovered it was a lady. The deceased was a lady. Actually, we got into the house and identified that the deceased was a lady, and she was lying naked in a pool of blood. So while we were still interrogating the scene, we got information from some of the members of the apartment who had since gathered to witness the scene. And they informed us they had seen an unknown man leave the apartment stained in blood, with blood stains in his clothes. And he was wrapped in a white towel on his waist downwards. So upon receipt of this information from the bystanders there, so upon receipt of that information from those who were standing by, I once again reached to my boss, who by then was the orderly officer, through Inspector Ndwati's mobile phone. It's called Chief Inspector Njuguna. Chief Inspector Njuguna. So he is the SOB, the staff officer operations, the SOB at Makadara sub-county. So I informed him that there was a scene at Papina, there was a murder scene, suspected murder scene at Fakino Apartments, house number Y32. And subsequently called for the services of the scenes of crime personnel. So while we were still waiting for the scenes of crime personnel. We preserved the scene and waited for the scenes of crime. Meanwhile, as we waited for the scenes of crime, I engaged with the security guards about his awareness of this unknown guy who left and why he had allowed him to pass without raising an alarm. But he said he was not at the gate by the time the suspect left. So as this was going on, one of the ladies we were with received a call from an unknown caller. The one who had initially made the report at the police station, one of them received a call from a known caller, and that the suspect who had initially
She got a call from
who informed that the suspect had been spotted around the South B hospital. So once I took the phone from the lady to continue speaking with the unknown caller, whom upon telling me so that the suspect has been spotted at South B police station, South B hospital. I spoke with him and asked him to at least keep trail of the suspect. So upon receipt of this information, I again informed Inspector Ndwati of the development and requested her, together with Corporal Komau, Inspector Ndwati together with Corporal Komau to man the scene as I go in pursuit of the suspect, as per the information received. So immediately I left the scene, but still while in constant communication with the unknown caller who was in pursuit of keeping trail of the suspect. So in the absence, I didn't have an official car, so we used a civilian car, which belonged to one of the reportees, the two ladies. And since I was alone, I went back to the police station and picked another police officer by the name PC John Matara to help me in the pursuit.
Were you still accompanied by the two ladies?
Yeah, we were together with the two ladies in their car. So in the car we were 4 people. That is the 2 police officers and the 2 ladies. And all this time we were still in communication with the unknown caller. So
Yes.
So along the way, as we were heading to South B police station, South B hospital, sorry. The informer told us that the suspect has just left South B hospital and that the suspect has been referred to Mbagathi District Hospital. So we changed our direction to Mbagathi Hospital. And upon arrival, so upon arrival at Mbagathi, we managed to find the informer. The informer, who was a well-known person to one of the ladies whom we were with. We got into the hospital and found and managed to find the suspect being attended to by 2 nurses. So the suspect was dressed in a bluish shirt with brown marks. A bluish shirt with brown marks, which was covered with a white towel around his waist downwards. They had blood stains. The suspect, he had the clothes, he had blood stains on the blue t-shirt, in the blue t-shirts and the white towel. By the time we found, he was still putting on that cloth and the towel. A shirt. Actually, it's not a t-shirt, a shirt. Sorry, dressed in a bluish shirt with brownish marks.
I wish to mark the blue long sleeve shirts as MFI 12.
The suspect had multiple wounds that I could not say, multiple stab wounds, as he was being attended to.
So you talked about a blue shirt. What else did you find?
A white towel.
We wish to mark a white towel with stains as MFI 13.
So the suspect had stab wounds that were being attended to by the nurses. So when we got into the room, we informed the nurses. Since we were all in full uniform, informed the nurse that this was a murder suspect. As he was lying on a bed being attended to by the nurse, the murder suspect, and that we had been tracing him, and now we have come for him. The suspect was in a fair, stable condition and was able to communicate and speak. And so I cautioned the suspect and informed him of the crime he is suspected to have committed and why we are here to arrest him. So at the room where the suspect was being attended to was also another man who identified himself as, apart from the suspect, the nurses, there was another man who identified himself as Anthony Nyongesa. And he is the one who brought the suspect to the hospital. So Anthony Nyongesa, upon questioning, he said that he had only assisted the suspect to hospital at his request, but he did not disclose where they met. So we again turned to the suspect to a bit of interrogation since he was able to speak. He identified himself as John Matara Ongoa, a Kisii male adult, age 34 years of age. Matara Ongoa, Akisi, male adult, age 34 years of age.
That what?
34 years. So I asked him why he had committed the offense, to which I directly asked him why he had killed the lady he was with at the apartment. And upon interrogation, I asked him if at all he knew the lady, to whom he identified the lady as one called Starlet, and whom he claimed was his girlfriend. But upon asking all these questions,
He said she was his girlfriend.
his girlfriend. So, upon further interrogation, all the accused person said that all he can remember was that they had a scuffle with the lady, and he managed to stab the lady on the right thigh. On the right thigh. Right thigh. So we could interrogate further since he was being attended to by the nurses. So we left. We never proceeded with the interrogation, but rather waited patiently as the nurses attended to him. Once the nurses were done with him and they assured us that he was in a stable condition and was out of danger, the nurses issued us with a prescription of some painkillers. Which I went ahead and bought them at the facility's pharmacy. So once this was done, we turned on the other suspect, one Anthony Nyongesa, whom we did a quick search. And from him, we recovered a cable with a metal attachment. Anthony Nyongesa, which we recovered a cable with a metal attachment to this, which to him he referred it as a dragon chain.
Covered a cable with a metal.
Attachment to it, which Nyongesa described as a dragon chain, and an electric tester was recovered.
Described as a what?
A dragon chain. He termed it as a dragon chain. Particularly, he told us he was an electrician, and that by that time he was at work. It was at work, but he never disclosed for us the place by the time he was reached out by Matara for assistance. When the nurses were done attending to the suspect, John Matara, the nurses, once they were done attending to Matara, they declared him stable and out of danger, after which he was discharged. The clothes that he put on at that particular time were now all soaked in blood. So some of the members of the public whom we had come, they were actually border riders, offered him some fresh clothes. So they offered him fresh clothes, which he put on as we collected the ones he had. And those being the bluish t-shirt, the blue shirt, brown marks, a creamy trouser,
Maybe just not that I'm writing, so
Not the creamy trouser before court, we wish to mark it MFI 14.
what was the other piece of cloth?
a creamy trouser,
What was the
Which we to mark it as MFI 14,
shirt was MFI what?
MFI 12.
and a white towel,
Creamy trouser.
and a white,
What is MFI?
14.
and a white towel, all with blood stains.
I marked that as MFI 13.
So we collected the clothes, which we later booked as exhibits, and prepared an inventory that which I wish to lay before the court. Dated 4th. So we collected the clothes, which were booked as we later placed them in a polythene paper and arrested the accused persons. And they arrested both Matara and Anthony Nyongesa, upon which we escorted them to Industrial Area Police Station, where we booked them by Dobi number 5. Industrial Area Police Station. And booked them via OB 05 04 stroke 1 2024. I prepared an inventory and further booked the clothes as exhibits via OB number 06 stroke 4 stroke 1 of 2024. and I wish to lay the inventory before the court. OB number 06 of 4 stroke 4 stroke 1 stroke 2024. The exhibit
15. The inventory before court that you're able to sign, when was it dated and where was it prepared?
It was prepared at the Industrial Area Directorate of Criminal Investigation. I prepared it with the help of the DCI officer whom we had already handed over the case to. And we prepared the inventory on the 1st of January 2024 at around 0400 hours.
Did you append your signature on the inventory?
Yes, I signed as Corporal Arwa.
Do you wish to have the inventory produced before this court as part of the evidence?
Yes, I do. So that is all I can state.
Do you wish to produce it as exhibit 15? There is a blue jeans that you are able to recover from the suspect.
A blue shirt.
A blue shirt.
Sheet.
And also a creamy trouser and a whitish towel with blood stain.
Yeah.
Do you also wish to have them produced before this court as part of the evidence?
Yes, I do.
And Lord, you wish to produce the blue jean shirt, long sleeves, as exhibit 12. The white towel with blood stain as exhibit 13. And a creamy trouser as exhibit 14.
That's all I.
That would be all. Before you cross-exam, where did you prepare this inventory? Where were you when you were preparing?
We were at the report office.
Report office.
Together with the DCI officers.
Okay. And where did you collect these items from?
I collected them at the hospital before we left.
Which hospital?
Once at Mbagathi Hospital. Once he was able to change his clothes from which the ones that he was offered by the other members of the public, since we could not go with him at that state to the police station wrapped in a towel, so we changed his clothes, but we collected the ones he was initially putting on.
Was he able to sign the inventory himself?
Yes, he signed at John Matara. Here it is.
When he was signing this inventory, what state was he to comprehend what he's signing?
He was a stable state, given that he was declared by the nurses that he was in a stable state and eventually discharged from hospital.